Yeah, bad. Yeah, man. Okay, here we go. Fuck. Shit, it's fucking hot. All the jukes running around today. One little juke, they're free. Free roaming. The free roaming juke, son. What's up, Gary? How you doing, bro? The free roaming juke, dude. That's what's on the streets today. The free roaming juke, dude. They're all coming out. They're all running today. They're excited. Oh, 6 games? Not bad, not bad. From Jim, good shit, bro. Not bad. Today's very, very, very hot. It was very hot outside today. It was like around like 70-something degrees, which means all the juke, which are insects, they got excited, you know. They're starting to show face right now, you know, like they're peeking out their windows and shit, like, you know, they're trying to like see what's going on outside. Like, oh shit, can I come outside? You know, like they've been hiding for so long, you know, like in the walls and shit. So now, like, today's their day, like, you know, like to test the waters. You know, the bugs want to see what's going on right now. Today's their day, like today was their test day, their test run. Oh really? It's a lot of dark matter, dude. So today was a test, you know, insect test run today. All the bugs outside were like wanting to know what was hot on the streets. They want to know if it's okay to, like, you know, show face. So today, you know, they were showing face a little bit on the streets because they've been hidden for so long. They love it now. Like, this is they're gonna go crazy now. You know, they're going like to the beach and shit. You know, they're going like picnics. They're out of hibernation right now. No hibernation, dude. Yeah, bro, the bugs, the insects. Think about it. Spring's out. You know, it's hot outside. They've been hiding for so long, so they want to know what's hot on the streets. So they're, you know, they're going outside right now. You know, they're telling, you know, like, oh shit, it's nice outside. You go outside right now. You know, they're going for walks and shit. You know, dates, everything. You hear that though? Like, think about it. They have to have conversations with each other, right? Like that, you know, they probably have names and shit with amongst each other. They talk to each other all day. Like, yo, dude, is it okay to go outside? I'm like, yeah, dude, I think it's okay. You know, it's nice. The sun's out. It's hot. You know, we've been hiding in these walls for so long. You know, it's time to go outside. Breath of fresh air. You know. Of course, you hear that. It makes sense. So today I saw like a few of them, like, you know, testing the waters, you know, running around the outside, you know, like saying what's up, you know, flying around. That's it. That was today. What do you think of the squad, the draft squad? What do you mean, bees? The bees don't fuck with me, son. I'm scared of bees. I'm scared of the bees, bro. I don't fuck with the bees. Invisible shack? Is that a shack that we can't see? I hear that. Invisible shack, dude. So what does this invisible shack do that other shacks can't do? In what? Invisible? You trying to say invincible? You're spelling it wrong, but I hear that. You think so? Nah. You know what? Even if Shaq has a 3-ball in this game, he's still ass. Think about it. He's never good in this fucking game, bro. He's always ass. His shot is never good. What are you talking about, Tim? Let's see what the one we have now is like. Okay, so he has 99 and everything there. So this Shaq gets 60, I guess close to 73. Yeah, I was of course better, bro. Oh, big head code? Yeah, facts. It's okay, guys. You guys want to help me make a diamond squad? So I did the ruby squad, I won. I did the Amica, I lost with this one. I didn't do well with this team, I lost with them. But the ruby squad I won with, so I'm thinking I gotta do a fucking diamond squad now. It's a duo squad. At the end of the day squad. How much you need for you? Cubic zirconia squad? I don't think that exists. You're not, honestly, Tim, you're probably not wrong. If you do calculations from MT, let me think about it. I'll tell you what he's worth in cash right now. Hold on. Damn, 979. Oh, that's gets 36 badges. All right. This right here is 40 bucks right now, almost. I'm talking about like close to $20 if you want to check. No, they're not, but today it's 20 beans. If you were to buy them with the cash, that's how much it would cost you to buy Shaq, $20. I mean, yeah. A low 20. It'll cost you a cheap 20. A pretty cheap 20. Hold on, let me go to my seat. Let me see if the cards are there. Let me go see them on the site. Alright, let's see. What's it called? That site. 2KDB. Updates. No, they don't have it. Not yet. Probably tomorrow morning. Oh, it's on Twitter? The fuck is Twitter? Where do we find it on Twitter? Tomorrow? I don't know, like probably like 11, 10:30, 10:45, something like that. NBA 2K19. Let's see. All right. This is it. So they're saying Invincible Shaq. All right. Who else? Okay, Tragic. The Beard. Oh wow, Kurlenko. Wow, look at Kurlenko's face, bro. Looks like he got sunburned real bad. Kind of looks like Tom Chambers over there also. That came out today. Amber Heard. What did she heard? This girl. Oh, I hear this dumbass bitch's name every day. AIDS. Trashed in. And this we'll call sunblock. Yeah, this guy needs sunblock, bro. I'll make a fucking thumbnail later. A nice one. Sunblock. So now I know who they are. Alright. Don't say anything about him, but okay, we got him. Then Luka? Yeah, okay. Age, trashing, and something. I don't think so, bro. Just like your little Trae Young guy, right? Where is he right now? What part of the playoffs is he in, Trae Young, right? Oh, wait, he got eliminated. Shit, my bad. Were Luka still in the playoffs? Oh, right. Yeah, he is. Wait, Harden's in the playoffs also right now, right? What does black and white have to do with anything? You're an idiot. You're smart as juiced? Marcus Smart is probably juiced. I always said he's probably good. He's definitely probably mad good. Who's warring today? Facts, Jimmy. They're both gonna lose. I think so too, Gary, but whatever. Just compare both their rookie years. Look at Luka's rookie year. Hold on. You want evidence? Let's go see. Let's compare the two cards. Let's compare the two players right now. Luka versus Harden stats. Let's see. Numbers never lie, son. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Points per game, Luka's beating him. Rebounds per game, Luka's beating him. Assists per game, Luka's beating him. Steals, whatever, it's pretty much the same. They're one, but a little 0.5 is whatever. This is the same also. Total points, well, he's got an extra 10 years on him, so you can't really do that. He's still got more years on him. Just from the amount he has right now, he'll be way ahead of him at the end of his career. With everything. Yeah. Luka's field goal percentage is better, but that could still go down. Same concept. 3-point is close. 3-point free throw Harden. The best season, Harden had 36 Okay. Playoff stats. Luka's killing him in the playoffs in every stat. Besides steals. I mean, are we living in 2018 right now, my dude? Really? And Harden's won wait, how many championships does Harden have? How long has Harden been in the NBA for? ...2009 to present. I mean, you're comparing a guy who's there how many more years than him? Over, like, more than a decade? Are you kidding me? 13 seasons as opposed to 3? Or for how many years has Luka been there for? He was 16 years when he came to the NBA? Really? No, he wasn't. He was like 18 or 19. That's bullshit. 2018. Okay? So 4 years to 13, bro. Come on, man. Fluka? What the hell's Fluka mean? That's it. What? Come on, dude. Fluka, he says. I know, Gary. I know. What, do you want me to check PS messages? I'll check. Aztec sent me a message? What'd he say? Oh, yeah. What am I looking at? A video that's processing? I mean, I don't know what you did. I have to wait. How long was this video? At the end of the day, Jimmy, you know this and I know this, that Luka's gonna have a chip under his belt before he finishes through the NBA. Harden, unless they do what they did, like, you know, at the end, when he gets a little older, when at the end of his career, when they throw him onto a team that's gonna win, like they did for fucking Gary Payne on the Heat, then maybe he'll win one. For real? Fine, I'll bet you. I'll put legit, I'll make it fair, but I'll bet you around, hold on, 77. I'll bet you $770 that he will. Luka already is almost the GOAT, Gary. I mean, the only way that he could be right if he gets some crazy ass injury, and then he's like becomes a Derrick Rose, then he's done. You know, that's the only way. But if he keeps going the way he's going, there's no doubt in my mind he'll win. Joe Bam Trey? What do you mean Joe Bam Trey? What does that mean? Dude, Jimmy, legit, you're the last person on earth who should be talking about dick sucking, son. All I have to say is Trae Young. Then we'll say the word dick suck, son. What the fuck are you talking about? Dick suck. This kid put Trae Young as every player on his team. That's like that's the king of dick sucking. That's a dick suck with a crown on it, son. Literally, with a crown on top. There's nothing wrong with that. This is people like a player, bro. What are you talking about? That's not dick sucking. There's no proof of what? Evidence? I have evidence of everything, son. All I have to do is find one of my streams, dude, and we have all the evidence we need, dude. Charlie, why are you even talking? Oh, God. Jimmy's too funny. Funny ass kid, dude. I taught him well, son. That's all I know. I taught him well. He's living in the ways of the hard. He's doing the right. The ways of the hard. 39.50. I'll do 38. So see you guys, this for tomorrow. We got 3 mil. We're gonna do Sug Life. Right now, before tomorrow's packs open, let me know what cards you guys want. Jimmy, what card do you need tomorrow from the cards that come out? Which one do you want to get? If you had a choice between the ones that are coming out, which one's the one that you think you would want? Think about it. From all the releases. Harden? Alright, fine. What about you, Garrick? Which one would you want if you needed a card from that? Just want to get an idea of what people want to get. I'm not saying I'm getting it, I just want to know what you guys want. You want AK or Shaq? Okay. What about you, Garrick? Harden also? Alright, that's good to know. So we got 1, 2 Hardens. We got an AK and a Shaq. We got Jalen Suggs Life. You want AK too? Okay. What about you, DK? Which card would you want to get? I actually have a better idea. Watch this. What are the cards going to be called tomorrow? What's the name of the packs, guys? What are they going to be called? Anyone know? Oh, you finally got bent? Yo, you heard Jimmy? Fucking, I feel, what's his name? He ended up not getting Luka. He ended up spending all he's fucked it up. I gotta help him get it again now. We gotta figure out, I gotta be his fucking manager now, watching his money. Sun Power? For real? Sun Power. Oh, Supernova? Okay. So it's Shaq, Harden, AK-47, or Tragic. Okay, this will help me out. What's up, Stenzo? We'll see what the people say. Do you think so? Do you think it's going to be over $1 mil? Shaq is usually not that... I mean, you know what? Maybe you're right, actually. I'm not saying anything. Because you know what? You were right at last time. You were 100% right last time. And I was wrong. You were right last time. When you said that, what's his name would be $1 mil. And I said, no way in hell. You were 100% right. Ben Simmons. I was in shock when I saw that. I did not expect it to be that high. Like, that high. But you were right. Is it going to be all 99? You were positive about that? That he's straight up all 99s? Or you're just assuming that? Because Invincibles are not technically all. There's some 96s, 95. I mean, all in the 90s. Okay, fair to say that. You agreeing with Jimmy, Gary? Is that what you're saying? So I have an idea now. I'm going to start doing. When the packs get better, like they are now, I'm going to start taking votes like that. and what we're gonna do is one person's gonna win out of the votes. Whichever card's the highest voted is gonna be the card that someone in the chat's gonna get no matter what. I'm gonna start. What do you guys think about that? You think that's a good idea? This way it always guarantees someone to get a good card instead of opening packs all the time. I mean, we'll open the packs, but instead of opening the amount of packs you do, I'm saying cut that in half. So the packs will still be open for you guys, the packs for peeps. But instead of opening, let's say 1.5 mil like that, I'll say we open half of that. The other half, what we do is we go according to this poll that we're doing, and then whichever one's voted the most, one of those cards will automatically give it to someone. I think it's a good idea. What about you, Jim? What do you think about that? You think that's a good idea? What we doing, Spence? Whatever we want. Yeah, packs are for members mostly on Fridays, correct? But the members in here are nice. Sometimes they give it to you guys, so you'd be surprised. You know, it's up to them. If they want to give it to you guys, they can, which they have done in the past many times. So don't be in shock if you guys get packs. It's possible you guys might get packs. You know, just because you're not doesn't mean. There's many times I've given you guys packs, but I think that idea is a good idea. I was thinking about it because like the only times we've opened up packs in the past 3-4 weeks, bro. Exactly, true. Exactly. See what Jimmy just said? And he's not. And I stand by him. He definitely would do that. He's done that in the past many times. He's generous like that. So Jimmy's just very one-set minded. He wants one thing. Anything else, he doesn't give a shit how good it is. He'll give it 20 years. Trust me. He's like that. He'll do that. But as it comes to that, I was like thinking. This is the thought I had. I'm like, yo, I've been opening packs for the past month, and no one got jack shit. So I'm thinking, what a waste. So I'm thinking, wait, how do I guarantee someone to get something? And that's the thought I just came that I thought now of just now. Just came to that. I don't know. I'm like, hey, you know what? I have an answer to my problem. I just thought of it when I did the polls. I'm like, maybe if I do this poll thing, literally as I was doing it, I thought it would be a good idea. But you guys obviously need to finalize it. If you guys don't think it's good, I won't do that. But if you think that's a good idea, Savage, what do you think about that? What's up, Savage? What up, Detroit? 1 second. The player giveaway tomorrow, Caden. I told you Friday. I'm gonna hit me up privately, and I'm gonna see what I can do. Most likely, yeah. But you like the idea? So Jimmy says, so everyone likes that idea? Everyone's cool with that? This way we automatically guarantee someone to get a card, no matter what. So we still do the packs, we just don't open up as many packs. Instead of me doing like 10 packs per person, I'll do like half, 5 or some shit, you know? And you never know, you still might get it in the pack. I mean, the odds are most likely you won't, because that's what it seems like for the past couple of weeks. Exactly, Jimmy. Yes, that was the thought. That was the thought. I think Tash is gonna like it. I just want to make sure everyone who's a member agrees with it. That's it. Killer, you like that idea or not? Spence, what do you think about that? Gigs? What's gigs? GG's? Is that what you're trying to say? So I think that's what's gonna start being. I think we start doing that. Yeah, it's actually. Yeah, I think we should just do that, and that's it. I'm gonna put aside and Jimmy, you're good with this shit. What are cards gonna be worth tomorrow? Don't ask me, bro. You ask the judges for that. That's what I have judges for. That sounds good, Jimmy. That's definitely a good idea, Jimmy. We'll ask Tooth when he comes in, the teeth. You think Shaq legit, Spence? 2 mil? For real? What do you think? What do you think on all the cards? I want to have an idea in my head. What do you think Shaq's gonna be? What do you think Magic's gonna be? There we go. Jimmy did it right. Okay. Magic didn't even put in there. Magic's probably a buy now. It did. You should have took it with you. I told you. You think Shaq's really that high? Well, the truth is, honestly, it really depends how many of them come out. That's what I say. I hear that, actually. I do hear that. At the end of the day, it really matters how many come out. If we're gonna have like a bunch of Shaqs come out, then maybe not. Because sometimes 2K is weird like that. Sometimes some releases, they put out like the card OD. It's weird. Do you think Oz is gonna be terrible? Yeah, you know what? It's gonna be the first pullable invincible. You're right. It's gonna be almost impossible to get it. I agree. You think Harden? I think Magic will be the cheapest. Oh, you said unless Magic's not counted. But honestly, I guarantee you, what's going to be the difference between this Shaq right here, if you think about it? Hold on a second. Where's the other Shaq? Here, watch this Shaq. Right? Like, look at his stats already. Like, Shaq can never shoot threes. I don't care anyone. Besides Spencer, he's the only person I've ever seen hit threes with Shaq like that. But he's already won the 90s here, pretty much. What's going to be the difference? It's going to be just like this card. I don't see, it's not going to be that much different than this card. I can't picture it being that much better than this one. Because this one already is good. It grabs boards. It does what it's supposed to do. Maybe they'll probably put this all to 99, his on-ball steal and all this shit, his tendencies. Oh, power forward? He could already do power forward. He does, this one does power forward. Yeah, but his release is ass, Spencer. It's always been ass. We don't get Magic, he's irrelevant, I hear that. Oh, you think they're gonna do that, DK? You know what, I wouldn't be interested. You think they're gonna make it like 2 versions of the card, like they've been doing? Like open up the pack for a guaranteed card at the end, and they're gonna have ones that you can, ones that you can't? I feel you, Jim. I know, I told them, I said that. You're one-track minded. Once you see something, that's it. I believe you. Run a poll? Just ask them tomorrow, bro. We'll do the poll tomorrow, live. Why would we do it now? There's not enough people now. But Jimmy, I actually had something important to tell you. Remember the whole merch thing I was telling you about? You're going to try everything? So I have a better idea. I'm going to put you in touch with a guy, and he's going to mail it to you directly from there. Alright? And you're going to just take care of that. You're going to tell him what changes should be done and stuff. I trust you with that. Do you think you can handle that or not? You think it's too much? Since you're already going to do all that. Because I don't have time to do that shit. Okay, leaving it in your hands. You want to do that? Alright, so I'm going to hit you up later on. I'm going to let you know all the info of how you're going to do that. I'm going to show you what to do with that. I'm going to put you in contact. Exactly. It doesn't make sense for them to send it to me than me send it to you. I'd rather just go directly to you because there's going to be changes anyways. You're going to have to tell them. You're going to be in charge of that. That was your job. To be in charge of what we're going to do. What we're going to keep. For the hoodies and the hats. Good. The only thing is I'm stuck on is, do you think we should do zip up or pullovers? Or both? That's the only thing I'm stuck at. TTO event? What do you mean by that, a TTO event? Like having all the cards in there? What do you mean by TTO event? You do, but I'm sure some people want that. Definitely, you know what? The problem is, I'm telling you, with these type of hooded stuff, I think zipper pockets are important. As much as you don't, because you know how many times I've dropped stuff with pullovers that fell out of my pocket? But they have pullovers that have zippers inside it, like the Nike one has cool zippers inside. Like inside the pullover, there's like inside. It's not in the. It's like in the pocket area. There's like a little area that has a zipper. Literally, so much shit falls out of my pocket all the time. That's the only issue I have with pullovers, that they don't have zipper pockets. Unless we find one that does have it. No, but they're not stylish. Of course they are. There's some nice. What are you talking about? I have some zipper stuff that you can't even see the zipper. It's like inside. Of course. I only want good shit. I don't want. We get the best quality. We're not getting garbage. It has to be A1 shit. It's gonna be fire. I'm not making cheap ones. Fuck that. Everything we get's gonna be A1. I don't want no garbage, cheap fucking shit. It has to be all good quality, or I'm not getting it. I'll give you the mock drafts. I have all the mock drafts of it. I'll show it to you guys. I have to pull it up my email. Hold on. They're pretty cool. The hats I already showed you what we have. And this guy's fucking, if I don't keep on top of this guy, he like takes a sorry ass time. It's been over a year already this guy's been doing this shit. Everyone uses COVID as an excuse for everything. Oh, Corona, I'm back at this and this, all these projects I've been doing. I'm like, yeah, what does that mean? I'm like, what does that do with Corona? It has nothing to do with it. You've done shit for me in the past all the time, and all of a sudden, I don't know. He's done stuff for me, so it's not like he hasn't. You know, he does good shit. All my DJ shit that he did for me was nice. I have cups. If anyone wants any fucking I have fucking Joey Mofa and Swab fucking coffee mugs with that logo. You ever see the logo for my DJ shit? It's nice. It's like two I guess faces. They're like cards. I don't know what kind of faces you call them even. I wonder what the fuck the banner is for that. I have a fucking plaque with that. Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you guys. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, he definitely started it. I know he did. I haven't been calling him though because I've been getting thrown. I've been doing a lot of shit during the day and getting thrown off. And today I thought about it. I'm like, shit. It's been a minute. I paid for half of it already up front. So I thought about you. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it to Jim. Let him handle it because I know he's into that shit. He'll make sure it's good. He's not gonna let me get screwed with the way it looks. So that was the decision. I was hoping you'd say yeah, what you did, so it works out. I don't see why you wouldn't do it, but yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. After today, you can have his info. Tomorrow, you can hit him up. I'll make him hit you up even, actually. I do have time. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna have time for him to send it to me to send it to you. That's what I'm saying. Like to that, it gets too messy because I get all these other things that pop up in the middle of the day with work. I get work calls all throughout the day, stuff like that. I don't have a secretary, so it's not so simple. That's what I'm saying. Then it gets late. This is like during the day thing. During the day, I'm usually busy working through the day. That's what I mean when I don't have time. So I do have time technically, just don't have time to do all that. That's all I'm saying. People make time what they want to make time for. That's what I always say. I'll give you guys some advice with box. Who's ever been with girls? You ever hit up a girl and they don't message you back? You know, like you're hitting them up and all of a sudden, like, you know, and then they get mad. I'm busy, right? They can't talk. But the second I figured a way how to get their attention. The second you say something negative, like go fuck yourself or something, all of a sudden, all the busyness in the world, and all of a sudden they can start texting like motherfucker, like they have all the time in the world. I used to fucking fuck when I was young. I used to always do that to them, and I always say, "Oh, well, how come you could talk now? Well, what's going on? I thought you were busy." All of a sudden now, because I said fuck you, all of a sudden you can talk. It's the funniest shit. Who's experienced that? You know, who knows what I'm talking about? When people love saying they're busy. I'm busy, dude. I told you guys that before. It's true though. It is true. Jimmy, I'm telling you, next time someone tries to blow you up and I'm busy or something, tell them to go fuck themselves. Anything, I guarantee you, all of a sudden they're gonna be able to talk. Fuck, they're gonna talk like blast text you, like they have all the time in the world. I'm like, oh, you'd be like, well, I thought you were busy. What are you doing? You know, like, I'll show you some. I have some saved combos in there. They're so funny. I used to do that shit. You'll see that. It's a guarantee. 100% they'll hit you back. And the crazy part, they're gonna want you even more when you do shit like that. They want you even more. They love confrontation, box. I don't know why. They just do. They love that shit. They love that shit, dude. Let's see what team I have over here. I'm curious. They love that confrontation. Even with my guy friends. Like, let's say this guy over here would, like, borrow something from me. My neighbor from around the corner. Like, it happened with him. He's ignoring me, ignoring him. Then one day I told him, you know what, bro? It makes sense. You're just a thief. The second I wrote that, this motherfucker was writing like crazy. Oh, what, fuck you, why am I a thief? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, oh, now you can answer? I'm like, I've been trying to get in touch with you for a week. The second I call you a thief, now you can write back? It's the funniest shit. People, once you start challenging someone, I call it challenging their liberty, you challenge someone's liberty, you challenge them, all of a sudden they can talk, and no one's hiding anymore. When are you coming to New York again? You said you're going to, well, what date is that? For 2 years that you're staying here. You gotta be a victim, 100%. I'm never nice. I was never nice. I was always addicted to them, always, and I always got my way. Never got turned down, not once. Actually, one time, someone stopped talking to me because I didn't acknowledge Valentine's Day. I told the person to go fuck themselves, and they said, if you don't hang out with me today, I'm never gonna see you again. And they actually never saw me again. I was like in shock. I'm like, wow, that's hard. I didn't expect that to happen, but it did. But you know what? I didn't give a shit because I had somebody else anyways, so it didn't matter. I'll never forget that though. It was the dumbest shit I ever heard of. I know it's hard, but legit. The person said like, oh, if you don't celebrate it this year, I'm not never talk to me again. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm never talking to you again. And I was expecting them to hit me back up, and they never spoke to that. Ever since that day, I've never spoken to that person again. And I was with them for like 1.5 years, I believe. No, it wasn't 1.5 years. Sorry, it was 9 months. I don't think it was only 9 months. Till today, I haven't spoken to that person over that stupidity. Because I didn't see them on Valentine's. Because I don't celebrate stupid days. Valentine's Day, dumbest shit in the world. Of course. Dude, there's a mall right by my house. I told you, look it up. It's the best mall. They have all the shit over there. You're gonna love that place. Garden City Mall. The Rockville Center. What's it called again? Shit, I sent it to you last time. I forgot what it was called again. Not the Rockville Center Mall. It's called something, it's in Garden City. It's the biggest mall, and everyone goes there. There's a lot of hot box there too, actually. Valentine's Day parties, really? I told you, I created a day for us guys. On it's Valentine's Day for men. It's on 6/9, June 9th. It's like a day like once a year we're allowed to do whatever we want and we won't get in trouble. On every June 9th. That's men's it's called Box Day. It's basically a Valentine's Day. They created a new day called Box Day. Every June 9th. You're allowed to mess around with who you want, and it's not cheating. National Box Day. Every June 9th. 6/9. That's the year. It's the day. I just made it official. Makes sense. Every 6/9, we can do whatever the hell we want. You're not gonna get stabbed for color. They don't do that around here. The only way you can't stare when you walk around. If you look at people, they're gonna be like, "Yo, what are you looking?" They're like, "What are you looking at?" People like that. Those are the type of people that are everywhere. Everyone thinks they're hard. Listen, someone got killed over tickets, my dude, and Dave and Buster's. Think about that for a second. I never heard of such a thing in my life. Or those tickets that come out of the machine that you could go redeem at the end to get probably a little beer or some shit, or a little prize. That's what a guy got killed over. The other guy probably before said like he thought that in his head that he had those tickets were his, and someone probably played the same games like, "Oh, those are mine," and the guy's like, "Fuck, you know they're mine, man. What are you talking about?" And I could see it already. And they started fighting over it, and the guy got stabbed because he didn't acknowledge that it was the other guy's tickets when it probably wasn't in the first one. Or maybe it was. Who knows? Maybe the guy who stabbed him, it really was his tickets. Who knows? But that's what he got stabbed over, bro. Tickets. You know they should start selling in New York? Like stab-proof. They should sell clothes. You know, like bulletproof vests? They should start making like stab-proof clothing. Like, you know, with like the material inside. So like if someone stabs you, like it won't go through. I'm sure that, you know, like Mithril in Lord of the Rings. Like shit like that. They started, I guarantee you it will be a good seller. You have shit like that for sale and pay people wear it all the time. Stab-proof clothing. I wonder if they make that already. They have to have that. Right? I'm sure they have. I guarantee you, Google that shit, they have it. I guarantee you. I don't know why. I just feel that they have that already. Stab-proof clothes, stab-proof vests. Kind of curious, actually. It's gonna bother me if I don't look it up right now. Stab-proof vests. Do they have such a thing? Stab-proof vests. Yeah, they definitely have it. Yeah, they have it. Of course they have it. Dude, if I was Drake, I'd wear fucking 2 bulletproof hoodies. Huh? Not just one. I'm sure the president wears a bulletproof suit nowadays. Like, people like that gotta wear bulletproof shit all day. Scottie Pippen, dude. They definitely do. Yeah, they have stab-proof vests. Alright, okay, good. At least they have it. They don't got good looking. They don't got good looking ones. They got ugly ones. Me too. I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm looking for my phone because I'm looking online. I'm playing through my phone screen. Yeah, they got some nice ones actually. Holy shit. This one's cool. That one's sick right there. Belt brand? Actually, yeah, dude. The one I told you last time, bro. I just ordered one. I'm gonna show it to you. They're sick. The tactical one. The Groove Life, I think it's called. They make really sick belts. They're a little expensive though. They're not cheap. But it's definitely worth it. They're like universal. You can wear it with anything. I got the black one. That's the nicest one. No, the light gray, the charcoal one's kind of cool also, actually. There's a few nice ones. I'm gonna give you a nice belt. I'm gonna give you one of those. I'm gonna give you a Louis Vuitton belt. I never wear it. It's nice. It's like the brown. You know what I'm talking about? It's the standard colors with the buckle. It's very expensive, but I think it's a $300 belt. Yeah, it's high quality, bro. I have a bunch of expensive belts. You probably want half of them. I guarantee you. I don't wear any of them anymore. Because I'm always wearing sweatpants now because the way I work. I don't even wear fucking normal clothing anymore. I'm always doing fucking power washing shit. Unless I go to like a wedding or some shit or some place, which I have enough belts as it is. You're probably gonna steal half my sneakers too. Watch. Jimmy's gonna leave here with all my shit. Yes, I am, Spencer. Whenever I'm sitting over here, that's what it means. I'm gonna be coming back once I'm done. Enough charging time for the hologram. Probably, I'm gonna give it, I'm just gonna give them to you. I have so many, bro. I have to get rid of half of them, bro. I have so much shit, bro, that like I never wore ever. It's brand new. It's crazy. I have clothing still. I have like literally probably like over a closet full of shit with the tags on it. I haven't even worn yet. It's probably been there for over a year, literally. Nice, some really nice shit. Sneakers, I have like a bunch of them. Like a shitload, like boxes upon boxes. I'll probably open a store with the amount of sneakers I have. They're in the box, I've never been worn. I always have like one that I just wear, and the rest you never know. I don't know what I was gonna do with them. Just collect them, I guess, for no reason. To eat near me, there's a lot of places, bro. You're talking about the city, bro. Anywhere you want. Depends what type of food you want. I don't live in a ghetto area. I live in like I said, like a pretty nice neighborhood. Where I personally live at. And I don't live far from anything either. I'm close to everything. Close to the city, I'm close to every borough. I'm like literally within 15 minutes of every borough. The 5 boroughs. Besides Staten Island. I don't even know if it's a borough. I don't know what the fuck to call that. It's a dumpster. Staten Island smells like shit. Literally, that's where they take all the garbage. It's the garbage dump of America. The deli's here are mad good. This place down the block has really good like grilled shit and sushi shit. Literally down the block from my house. Not even like it's walking distance. Like you can walk there if you want. The mall's like 10 minutes away. The highways. I also live right next to the highway also, which is big. The highway's literally right next to. No, I don't live in a gated community. No, the highway's around like 2 minutes away from my house. Also, I live right next to the highway. Oh my god, that's not in my neighborhood. That's the funny part. Yeah, I showed it to you. That was disgusting, bro. They actually refunded me. I actually showed you guys that. Yeah, bro, it was disgusting. I asked the guy, I'm like, yo, you actually like think someone would eat this? I'm like, you fucking kidding me? I'm like, I got it before here. It was never like this. What are you guys trying to do? Like, kill me and shit? That was disgusting. What do you mean a stoner is a stoner? I don't get it. Dude, I always, you wanna hear something crazy? I have this nut job thing of mine. I always open up sandwiches before I bite them. I don't know why. I've always done that. And this is the reason why, actually, because it's something like that. Half the people in the world probably would not do that. They would just bite into it and wouldn't even realize it. Probably they would actually, because you can't swallow. I mean, how can you chew into that? It's disgusting. Spence, did I ever show you that picture? I still have it. Did I ever show you? You want to see this picture, bro? With this guy trying to, like, what he gave me? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It was supposed to be like a very high-end place, and they gave me, like, I bought a sandwich. It was like a mixed thing. It was good. I've had it before. It was amazing. But this time they gave me like, I don't know what the fuck. They gave me like pure, like fat. It was disgusting. It was nasty, dude. I threw it in the garbage. I didn't even like to look at it, dude. I couldn't even look at it. It was disgusting. All fat. Nova Dogs Khalifa? Wiz Khalifa? And oh, dude, that's the best part. That's why I told exactly. If you, I'm like, look at the bill. What does it say? It says specifically lean meat, no fat. Exactly. That's the best part of it. It's like it made no sense. I specifically said very lean, extra lean, and it even said that on the bill, like on the receipt. And I even showed, like, what does it say on the receipt? He goes extra lean. I'm like, does this look extra lean to you? If anything, this looks like double extra fat. Like, I don't even know what the fuck this is. Like, how does someone eat this? I gotta find that picture now. It's fucking disgusting. I want to show this. It's disgusting. Yeah, good memory, dude. Exactly. I specifically. That's the best part of the whole thing. I asked for it to be lean. Now, that's the reason why I cook my own shit. Usually, I make the best fucking. I make the best food. When I cut shit, like when you eat here, bro, there's no obstacle courses in the food that I make. Nah, dude. Like if I make steak, bro, I cut all the white out. I'm a nut job like that. It takes me longer to cut the meat than to actually cook it when I cook. But anyway, even with chicken cutlets. Pig lips? I never heard of that in my life. That sounds disgusting. Like I don't know how people eat tongue either. People say it's good. I can't never eat a tongue. People love tongue. What, tongue is chewy? What is chewy? Fat is chewy? Is that what you're saying? Dude, if I ever eat something I have to spit it out, that means you shouldn't be eating it. That's the way I think. Nothing on your plate should be spit out. If it is, there's a problem. When I was younger, my mom used to make chicken cutlets, and I refused to eat them always because she never cut any of the white shit away. And I would always, like, literally, when I cut them, bro, I'd probably throw away, like, so much shit. Because I only want, like, the meat part of it. I don't want any fucking veins or anything. I don't know why. I cut all that shit out. You've had tongue before? I've never had it. I've always gotten, like, I don't know. People, they make it as cold cuts, right? Like that? Is that how they do it? They cut into, like, cold cuts, tongue, I think. I'm assuming. People say it tastes good, Spencer. I don't think it's good, personally. And maybe it is good, but I'm not going to give it a try. I don't want to be the person to find out whether it's good or not. Let it be good. I refuse to eat it. One thing I never ate before that I don't mind is sushi. My girl got me into that. I never had it before, and it's actually not bad at all. If it's from a good place, that shit's really good. I don't mind it anymore. But the first time I had it, I was like 21. Actually, no, I was 25 actually, what am I saying? I was 25 the first time I had sushi. Never had it before then. Yeah, same thing, same here, Jimmy. So the place down the block is a trusted place. They make everything they make there is fire. Also lean, not fatty at all. They make good shit there. They're always busy also. That's how you know. When a place is busy like that, you know they make good shit. Shit, am I up or down? Am I even paying attention? Oh shit, I'm close. Huh. That's crazy. Dave the Busher, dude. The Busher. Should have shot that idiot. What the hell was that? Kevin Herter? I know, exactly. Exactly, Jimmy. The guy's full court pressing me like he's playing for his life. So I'm telling you, people here are crazy. You missed something so funny, Jimmy, last night. It was the funniest shit, dude. Were you here with that kid who I gave the win to because he looked a certain way? Oh, you missed it. You were out by that. I think you weren't here. I think you were sleeping. Dude, so you gotta watch. I gotta show you the clip. It was the funniest shit. Some kid who, like, really was an ugly kid. I think, no, you were here. You had to have been here. I think you were here for that. What about Snitch Richmond? Yeah, he fell asleep. I feel you. Thotty. Earl the Pearl. Oh, Cayman? Bro, last year it was the Go Facts. Cayman. I remember that card. He's the real beard. How am I even in this game? I have no idea. I should be down by 40 right now. I wasn't paying attention at all this game. That's crazy. I want to do it. I'm supposed to do it. Yeah, bro. I'm down. If someone wants to do it, I'm always into the dual shit. I always say that. I want to make it consistent though, not just a one-time thing. I want to be part of like rotations. It makes sense. And eventually that's what we're gonna do full time, I think, because you're gonna see more people be into that. We just gotta find something that's like good. We gotta find something that's mad good. Yeah, it'd be hard. It'd be funny as hell. It would be. Definitely would be funny as hell. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Son of a bitch, bro. It would be pretty funny. I'm also waiting for Josh also. I have a good idea actually. I think I know what to do with that. My audio machine, for some reason, is not working with Streamlabs, which is I have to figure out why. I tried to like do it earlier today, because I was gonna do audio today, and I can't do it. I don't know why it's not working. Alright. Let me switch my squad up. I don't want these people, they suck. Nah, we're not doing all 2K. Fuck no. Yeah, exactly, Tech. Makes no sense. Dave the Pusher, dude. The Pusher. Yeah, I agree with you. I love how they don't call foul ever. I don't like the squad that I have in my system. I'm going to cancel and change it. Even if I win, I'm going to change it. I don't like the squad. It's all boring people to use to begin with. I don't know. I noticed that, though. You're right. I don't know why the hell you always do come back to it at this time for some odd reason. I don't know why. Because I think what happens is you play games during the beginning and you get bored of them. Like the NFL stuff, you finish them, you get whatever you, and then like there's nothing else to do. And you figure like, now all the good cards come out anyways. So I think that's why you come in. You know, you just want to play with good cards, so that's probably why you do it. It makes sense. Because all the good cards come out at this point. Which does kind of make sense in a way. Some people do that. Nah. Son of a bitch, bro. Fucking scrub. Nah. He's gonna get the rebound though. Nah. I knew I was gonna do that. You better hit that fucking scrub. Wide open shot he didn't hit. What the hell's this guy doing? Dumbass shot. What are you doing? What the fuck is he doing? He's moving like a fucking retard. What is this kid doing even? This kid's playing retarded also. Lucky fuck. Damn it. Are you kidding me? Wow. Wow. I told you he was ass. What'd I tell you? I told you he wasn't good. There you go. Game over, dumbass. King Kong ain't got shit on me, motherfucker. Unless he hits a fucking magical 3 out of nowhere. You gotta be shitting me, bro. Did you see that? You saw that bullshit? Wow. %. Yo, they consider that, by the way. This shows you this game is ass. Look what they consider that. FYI. That's 10% covered. Look, this is considered 10%. Look at the defense. That's 10% covered. Does that look 10% covered to you? How is that 10% covered? How is that 10% covered? Does that look, honestly, does this look 10% covered to you? I'm just curious. I want to know if it's just me. I want to know if I'm a nut job or this is like, look at this. Pay attention. This is 10% covered. Look at this. How is that 10%? There's no way in hell that's 10% covered. That's definitely boost it. Bro, he looked open? Nah, my dude. That ain't open. I don't know what you're seeing, bro. How does that look open to you, Jimmy? Look. Look where my guy is. Look at, pay attention to the point guard. He's up his grill. Look at that. How is that open? I can't twist the camera. How come they don't let you do that here? I don't know. That's 10, but that's 10%. Who was that guy anyways? This is why I'm not playing with the squad. Regardless, they suck. I don't like the team that I have. Because of that. Like I said, even if I won, I was going to get rid of them. What's crazy? I always know where that shit is. It's always in the same spot every time. I know. Yeah, but he had a guy. He had my power forward right next to him too. It's usually there, or actually right under it. Fuck, I missed one. Let's see what shitty ass cards they give me. Sigma, all centers. The fuck they give me 3 centers for? Fucking idiots. Slick Watts? I have to have that guy. His name is Slick Watts, for God's sakes. With a name like that. Yo, which one should I open, peeps? Which one's gonna have good cards under them? 1 through 5. There's too many numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the left to right. He's tall for no reason. 4th. Okay. 3rd. Nice. 2. What's the last one? Okay, good call. 2. Not bad. Alright, we're after the shooting guard. I wish they would show what you missed. You know, like to say, ah, you fucked up. You know, it sucks that they should have done that. Hard one. Okay. Next. 5. Fucking tech. Nice, dude. I hit the right one. Middle. Okay. I feel like the middle always has it. Jimmy says 1. Okay. Good shit, Jimmy. 3. Last one. Jim. Last one. 2, 3, or 4. No, 3's taken. 5. Alright, whatever. At least you're gonna need Durant. I don't care about I don't need Butler. You're saying 4 first? Okay. The pusher. Nice. Who's next? The pusher, dude. The pusher's good, dude. 1. Come on, Tech. Alright. Yeah, the middle always, yeah, the middle's always good. I don't know why. I feel like the middle always gives you something good. You guys like this squad or should I switch it? I don't know if I like this squad. I feel like I have too many centers. I don't have enough good guards in here. That guy might mean a coach. I mean, what do you think? Should we do one more? And fuck this one? You get better than this, right? Yeah, we do it, right? Let's fucking ass those cards. I only have 2 more I could do. We have 2 more tries. Let's see. I want to go like a fucking fire squad. It's good? Nah, it wasn't good enough, dude. We need all pink diamonds, dude. I have no dark. Everyone has dark matters in here. Nah, there's better squads than that. Dude, I played against squads with all dark matters in this shit. I'm gonna do the coach first, I feel like. I feel like the coach is never in the middle. Oh, wow. When I say, as I say that. That's funny as fuck. Pace and space is better, actually. Alright. We'll do point guard. We'll do that last. Alright, what are we doing first? This is for the point guard. We'll save the glitch for last. It's fine. Middle, yeah. No, wow. They fucked the middle up. Wow, they fucked me, dude. I already got to restart it just because of that. Just because of that, I got to restart it. Unless they make up for it over here. Okay, they made up for it. Thank God. Okay, good. I'm fine with this now so far. They made up for it. Because I have to... Russell play the whole game. He doesn't get tired. Alright, middle... Wow, they fucked the middle up now, I feel like. So 2, Tekka says. Okay, oh shit, Buddy healed. I won the game. That's it, game over. 5. Damn, a shitty ass pulls today. From this one. Last one was better, I feel like. So we're going 5 first now? Okay. Kukak. Okay. Nice. That was big. Dark matter. What's the last one? We're doing 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 4. You need friends? You got me, son. You need friends. That's all you need is one good friend. You got me. Alright, 1, since no one's talking. Oh, shit. Who's better, Kukoc or Baylor? I think I'm going to take Kukoc because you can play power forward also. What should I do, Kukoc or Baylor, guys? Dark, you think Kukoc? Kukak? No, seriously. Yeah, Kukak? Alright, Kukak it is. He's a glitch card, actually. Both are horrendous. Now he says Baylor, motherfucker. Alright. We always do middle, I feel like. Next 2. 5. Wow. Brandon Instagram. Fucking Brandon Instagram, dude. Wang Titty. This one was pretty bad, though. But I think the team's not bad, though. I think last team was better, though, right? Actually, no, this team's good. I got a bunch of good shooters. What am I saying? I think there's a good squad. Yeah, I think the squad's good. I think you're right. We'll see. I'm going to start Buddy Hield, though, for sure. Buddy Hield's the fucking best card in the game. That's the only reason why I'm doing it, because Buddy Hield's in it. Open a pack. Oh, now I'm going to get stuck at 70%. You got to be fucking kidding me, by the way. Look at this, guys. Alright, bro, I'm going to turn my Xbox on. You stay there for a year. Alright, it's ridiculous. This is the 3rd time this happened. And I happen to lose a series if I quit, so you could just sit here for the next for a year, legit. Have fun staying here, dude. I'm going to open my Xbox up, meanwhile. That usually works, by the way, when I say that. It always works. Because they can hear you, by the way. You there for a year. Why is it, yo, yesterday this happened literally, like, legit, I kid you not. Like, I kid you not. Like, 7 times. Literally. What time is it? 12:16. By 12:20, if he doesn't quit, I'm gonna quit. I'm only giving him 4 minutes. A 4-minute wait. Or we could do reactions meanwhile, actually. And just let this go through and let him really wait here for him, you know, because we could do other things. We don't have to do this right now. I could do, what should I do? Should I do that? And just let him sit here like a retard? While we do reactions? And let him look at his screen? Zuzo? What's up, Hamdeep? Chillin'. You have to answer your message. My neighbor printed it for me. I just gotta pick it up for him. Alright, so what are we watching? Oh, dude. That video was crazy. Yeah, Jim. That shit was insane. Dr. Dre's streaming right now. Oko, whatever his name is, Okio Dre. Yeah, what was that? We should watch that. invasions. Let's see any good ones. Oh, this is it. What the fuck? Hold on one second. This looks crazy. Damn, it says copyright on it. I want to watch this one with you guys. You guys see this shit? They're like, people are dancing naked in the room, like over this guy while he's on the floor. You gotta watch this one. Look at the Instagram model and family caught in terrifying home invasion. You gotta watch that on your own thing. I can't because it's a cop. I'm gonna get a strike for that, a real one, because it has CC on the bottom. A Navy SEAL. This one also has CC on it. Damn, why are they all copyrighted? Wait, 6 most disturbing. Here we go. I think I found one. Guys. Okay, I got one. We got it.
Guards. Upon further inspection, they would confirm that they 100% did not make these purchases. Now, the couple did lose a purse containing multiple cards a few days prior, but they just assumed they misplaced it somewhere around the house. Audio on this shit. Obviously, now seeing recent activity on the cards, they realized this was not the case. At some point, the purse had to have been stolen. They began reviewing home security camera footage to pinpoint when exactly they left the house with the purse and unknowingly didn't come back with it. But oddly, they would find that at no point did they return home without the purse.
He sounds like that. Of course I got a good video. I'm pressing you on my mic so I can hear it.
Hour by hour. And after a while, this was the footage they were met with.
He really sounds like Batman, dude. It's not even funny.
Two men would enter the house by climbing a back wall to get into the backyard, and from there simply walk through the back door to the house, which was unknowingly left unlocked by the homeowners. They would then silently creep into the kitchen and steal multiple valuables, one of which was the purse. Most disturbing, though, is the fact that not only were the homeowners in the house while this took place, but they were sleeping on their living room couch only a few feet away. And judging by the way the two men were walking around the kitchen, it's clear they were aware of this. Would the homeowners have woken up during this? And it's possible things could have ended a lot worse than just a few stolen items.
Bro, these guys are acting like they live here, right? Look at them. Look at this guy. They're just like taking everything. Like, this has to be fake, right? They're like so nonchalant, like walking through like they run that shit. They, that's, you know, it's like their house.
In Pittsburgh. They were your everyday average family. However, in July of 2017, the couple would start to hear strange noises coming from their attic during the night, like enough to wake them up. At first, they would ignore it, but over the next couple of nights,
that's the epitome of hard, my dude.
They would now also
literally, that's the epitome of hard.
Through a pipe.
I'm gonna do it through my app actually, instead of touching the mic all the time. Hold on.
He believed his neighbor, who he shared an adjoining wall with, was responsible. But when police went over to question his neighbor, he would deny everything. And because Jerome didn't have any proof, police couldn't really do anything. But still believing his neighbor was responsible, Jerome would manually set up a camera in his attic to get proof, or at the very least, to see what was actually happening. That night, Jerome and his wife would not wake up to any noises, but Jerome would decide to review the footage anyway. And this is the sight he was met with. Jerome's suspicions were correct. His neighbor, Robert Havrilla, can be seen crawling around the attic with a power drill. Seeing this, Jerome would once again call the police. Now that he had video evidence to show.
Alright, I'll look that up. Rather in a second. Let's first finish watching this. This guy's creepy as fuck.
Later discovered that Robert had made a removable wall to gain access to their attic. And under the attic, multiple holes were found drilled into the shared brick wall between the two houses. This evidence, along with the disturbing seeing this, Jerome, and this is the sight he was met with. And because Jerome didn't have enough to wake them up, at first, they were your everyday average family. However, in July of 2017, the couple would start to hear strange noises coming from their attic during the night, like enough to wake them up. At first, they would ignore it, but over the next couple of nights, in addition to the noises, they would now also see a light shining in through a pipe. This would push Jerome to call the police. He believed his neighbor, who he shared an adjoining wall with, was responsible. But when police went over to question his neighbor, he would deny everything.
He believed his neighbor,
police couldn't really
who
do
he
anything.
joined a sharing,
Still
who he had a
believed
sharing
neighbor
wall, was responsible, dude.
Jerome would manually set up a
Good
camera in
fucking
his
call,
attic to
bro.
get
Who else would
proof.
it be, dumbass? Of course
At
it's
the very
him.
least, to see what was actually
Fucking
happening.
people.
That night, Jerome and his wife would not wake up to any noises, but Jerome would decide to review the footage anyway, and this is the sight he was met with. Jerome's suspicions were correct. His neighbor, Robert Havrilla, can be seen crawling around the attic with a power drill. Seeing this, Jerome would once again call the police. Now that he had video evidence to show them, his neighbor Robert would promptly be arrested. It was later discovered that Robert had made a removable wall to gain access to their attic. And under the attic, multiple holes.
I stood for you, son. That's hard.
Brick wall
I just
between
stood for
the two
you, dude.
houses.
Think about that. I stood
This
for you.
evidence, along with the disturbing footage itself, would ultimately get Robert Havrilla charged with stalking and trespassing. On a day in October of 2021, a mother named Keen Winchester and her 2-year-old son were home alone. The day started out like usual, but later on this would change. She would begin to hear banging on her front door, followed by a male voice yelling for help. Naturally, she would go up to her front door to see who it was, but she didn't recognize the man, so she decided to ignore it. Over time, the banging and yelling would only grow louder. It got to the point where it was clear the man was no longer simply trying to get the homeowner's attention, rather he was genuinely trying to break into the house. In response, the mother would grab her 2-year-old son and barricade themselves in an upstairs bathroom. Horrifyingly, while they were hiding, they would begin to hear actual glass shattering. The man had broken into the house, all of which was captured by one of the home's security cameras.
Like, what the fuck was she doing till now, right? You hear shit breaking and stuff, you decided to end. Like, look at this. Like, this guy's retarded. Like, look at people. This guy, is this real, you think? The guy's not even wearing a mask. He's like, yo, fuck this shit. Look at him. That can't be real. Look at him. What the fuck's he doing? Who does that? That's hard as hell. It really is.
The man was able to use a piece of firewood to shatter one of the windows. From there, he would dive headfirst into the house. As soon as she heard shattering glass, the mother would desperately call the police, explaining the situation she was now in. It would take the police a total of 10 minutes to respond. During that time, however, the intruder was unable to locate where the mother and her 2-year-old son were hiding. When the police finally did arrive, the man would be arrested and later hospitalized for cuts he received while climbing through the window. It's still unclear why the man did it. He had no connections with any of the homeowners. Police believe this was the result of him being under the influence of something, but what exactly is never made clear. It's also not clear what he would have done had he actually found the mother.
That's under the influence of dust, by the way. Seriously, right? Angel dust. Right? That does shit like that.
Way back in November of 2009,
Formaldehyde.
a man named Joe Cummings lived in
Straight
a
up
small New
formaldehyde.
York apartment. He would suddenly start to notice food disappearing from his fridge and pantry that he knew for a fact he himself was not eating. After this went on for a while, he finally confronted his girlfriend about it. But oddly, she would deny eating any of his food. Not believing her, Joe decided to set up a camera overnight so that he could catch her in the act and confront her with the evidence. However, when Joe woke up the next morning and reviewed the footage, he would be met with something pretty horrifying.
Wow. Is that his girlfriend, actually? Imagine. The girlfriend's hiding in this fucking thing? That's hard as hell. She's pretty skinny, though, dude. Would you hit that, Jimmy? Right there? Is that a hard 3 or 2? Look at that. She looks like a Krilla though. Spider Woman,
Unknown
dude.
woman who is not Joe's girlfriend can
Hard
be seen
krills.
climbing down from what Joe claims is a storage area in his apartment that has no connection to any outside ventilation or anything.
Where is she
of the
eating?
like.
Where does she go to the bathroom though?
She would then walk
Like
over
imagine
to
she
the
dropped
fridge
deuce in
and
the house. Like the
pantry,
guy be like, yo,
making
why does it smell in the
different
bathroom?
foods,
No one was here.
drinking milk,
Like
etc.
right? Like what does one like this
That's
do?
when
Like
Joe
how,
would
how is she
actually
living there
come
for a
out of
week?
his
I don't buy
bedroom,
this shit,
forcing the
bro.
woman to quickly find
Look
a
at her
hiding
hide, look
spot.
at
Once Joe went back, she can be seen gathering up some more food before
She
retreating
live
back
in
into
the
the
cabinet?
storage
Like I don't
area.
get it. How do you live in a cabinet? Right? How the fuck do you live in a cabinet? But legit, like let's say she had to like go to the bathroom or something. Like drop it like it's hot, like one time. This is fake. It has to be fake, right? There's no way. But how can you live in someone's cabinet? In a pantry? It makes no sense. Like she slept in the pantry? Up there? Let's say she's snoring at night or something, you know what I mean? Like how do you not hear all that? Yeah, my ass. I don't know. Look at her, dude. What's she doing now? What is this dumbass doing? She hidden there now? Oh, wow. Look at Spider Woman, dude. Look at her go.
When Joe reviewed the footage the next morning,
That's no joke
he
right
immediately
there.
called the police. When the police arrived, they would take the woman out of the storage area and arrest her. It's unknown how she got in the apartment, but because he's on the top floor of his apartment building, Joe believed she could have gotten in through a fire escape which was located on the ceiling. Police would guess that the woman had been living in the storage area for a couple of weeks, with plans to eventually rob Joe, but whether or not these were actually her motives would never be confirmed. In 2016, a couple of homeowners in Australia would notice a strange man on their home security cameras walking around their property.
This guy looks like he has to take a shit, right? Look at he's a drop deuce right now. Look at he's walking. He's like,
This thing was quickly decided when the man began to crouch down and creep around the
constipated.
property, clearly as if he
Look at him.
knew he wasn't supposed to be there.
Maybe that's what he's doing. He's squatting to
At
drop
one
deuce right
point,
now, right in
he
the
could even
corner.
be seen
I
hiding
hear
behind
that.
a parked truck so that a passing car
Let me
would be
go
able to
just
spot
like,
him.
let me go pinch a loaf right now over there in the corner. What the hell's this guy doing?
This would of course be a shocking discovery for the homeowners, and it made them question whether this was the first time the man
Alright,
had
I'll
creeped
watch
around
it,
their
Mr. Ball, and I'll put a
property.
good one on.
In fact, the homeowners would
I
actually
want to
go
get an
back
old one
and
that we
check
haven't watched
previous
from last
footage
year.
to see if
Oh,
they could
he is
find
taking a
any
shit.
other
I was right.
occurrences.
Oh my god, he just dropped deuce. Look at
Turns
that. You
out
see
they
it?
would find another.
Look how much shit he just dropped. Look
It
at under his
happened a few
feet.
days prior. This time,
That guy just
the man
dropped
was
deuce
looking
right there,
into the
dude.
back door
Like
of
it's
the house
nothing.
with a flashlight.
Like it's hot. Yeah, probably. Dope sick? Dope constipated? Facts. Is that a human or an animal? What is that? What is that thing? That's an ugly ass hoodie. I would never be caught dead wearing that shit. What's he doing? Is that coke? Like a whole shit of coke he's about to sniff? What is that?
What exactly this man is doing, or what he had planned, is unknown. The homeowners would notify the police about the situation, but they couldn't identify the man, so there wasn't much they could do. At least according to what's been documented, the man would not be seen on the property again.
What's a y'all gray?
This footage was taken in New Jersey. A mother and her two daughters.
Oh my god, this guy has
were home
one
alone
eye.
at
It's so
night.
hard.
The home they lived in was 2 stories.
He has one eye, dude. Look at that.
The 3 of them were all upstairs. That's when the mother would begin to hear strange noises coming from downstairs. No one was supposed to be down there, so a little concerned, the mother would check the home security cameras on her phone.
Oh my god, look at his face, dude.
This is the sight
Is that
she
a
was
real
met
face?
with.
Is that a mask?
A man who she'd never seen before.
He's wearing a
could
mask,
quite
actually,
clearly be
right?
seen walking around the first floor of her house. Right when she
That
saw
is a
this,
mask.
she would silently barricade herself and her 2 daughters in an upstairs
I'm
bathroom.
sorry, Charlie Murphy.
Then she would call the police. However, the police would take a while to respond, leaving her and her 2 daughters to basically just sit there watching this man
hear
through the
that.
house's security cameras, praying he wouldn't come
Oh,
upstairs.
you think it's a tall gray? Really? I mean, it looks like it. I get past for a tall gray. I hear that. You get past for it. Yo, this retard's still waiting at 70%. It's the funniest shit. He doesn't want to leave.
Fortunately, the man would not end up going upstairs. In fact, when the police finally did arrive, the man was gone. Though his intents were clear. He had left with multiple valuables. At one point in the video, you can even see him carrying the homeowner's purse. But as far as if he had gone upstairs and found the homeowners, there's no way to tell what he would have done had this happened, and things could have easily gone a lot worse.
Is that a face or a mask? I can't tell, it's so blurry. Yo, is that a mask he's wearing, or is that his face?
Unsuccessful in identifying him.
This one looks hard as fuck, dude. The Conjuring? The mouth? I don't care about them. I want to see that guy over there. The ninja son, where is he? What the hell is this, dude?
If you weren't already afraid of the woods, you will be by the end of this video. The area where Bobby had gone missing, and the dog turns and starts running up the... If you weren't already afraid of the woods, you will be by the end of this video. But before we get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format,
dude, ref,
then you come to the right
I swear to you,
dude, that's all we do,
that thought came into my head. That was the Lante West. I kid you, and I promise
so
you,
if that's
really
of interest
that
to you,
too.
please release a massive,
no joke.
a massive saltwater crocodile. So if that's of interest to you, please release a massive saltwater crocodile inside of the like button's house. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads.
Yeah, he does. He's really good. I'm gonna get my never melting ice cup.
August 2nd, 1963, 4-year-old Bobby Panknin, along with his 2 older brothers and his 2 parents, headed off to a camping resort on Deep Lake in Washington State. The following day, Mrs. Panknin, whose name was Edna, decides she wants to take her 3 sons down a logging road that was right behind their campsite that she had heard fed out to this beautiful little waterfall that she thought her sons would like to see. Edna gets the boys ready, she says bye to Mr. Panknin, and then she and her sons take off down this logging road. And as soon as she's on the road, it occurs to her that it's totally overgrown. The grass is really high, it's rocky and bumpy, and she's thinking to herself, there's no way any vehicle is getting down this road. And probably there's been no vehicles on this road for a very long time. This is a very isolated place on this campsite. So they walk for a little ways on this overgrown logging road until they see there's a turnoff that leads down to the water and this little waterfall. And so right away she saw there was all this brush they were going to need to walk through, and the ground looked pretty rough. And Bobby, her youngest, the 4-year-old, he didn't have shoes on. He was going through a phase where he refused to wear shoes, and so it hadn't really mattered the entire duration of walking up the road, but it seemed like this might be too much for him to walk on. And so she told Bobby to wait on the road, and she told her other son, Jimmy, the 6-year-old, to wait next to him. Those two would stay on the road together, while she and Bill, the 10-year-old, would go past the brush, go down to the water, check it out for a couple of minutes, and then she would come back, she would pick up Bobby, and Jimmy would come along, and then they would go down and look at the water, and then they would leave. Bobby didn't seem to mind, so he just sat on the road, and Jimmy was a little bit frustrated that he couldn't go with the first group, but he sat down too, and Bill and Edna took off past this brush down to the water. Now, the distance between where Bill and Edna and where Bobby and Jimmy were was only about 10 feet. There was just this brush right in the middle of them that did obscure their view. They could not see each other, but they are very close to each other. And so Jimmy is sitting next to Bobby, and he's getting increasingly more and more restless. He wants to go down and look at the waterfall. He wants to be down there with his older brother and his mom. And so at some point, he just can't take it anymore. And Jimmy does something that to this day, he regrets every single day. And that is he got up and left his brother. He went through the brush down to where Bill and Edna were. And as soon as Edna saw him, she was mad at him, and she goes, "What? You left Bobby up there? Come on." And so they turned around after about 60 seconds and went right back up. And when they got back, Bobby was gone. And at first, they're not like, oh my goodness, someone's abducted Bobby, because there's no one on this road. They'd come up here and recognize that it's very remote, it's isolated, there's no cars that come through here, they hadn't heard anything. And so their first instinct was, okay, he probably got up, and is behind a tree, or, he walked down the hill over here, or he's nearby. And so they're yelling for him, they're walking around, and no one's panicking yet. In fact, really, Edna was just annoyed with Jimmy that he had left, Bobby, and that he's to blame right now, but it's just an inconvenience at this point. But after a couple of minutes, when they can't get Bobby to yell back where he is, they start to realize they might have a problem here. And so Edna becomes more panicked, and she's yelling at the top of her lungs for her son. She's having her other 2 sons go look down by the water, go look over there, but there's no trace of him. And they can't believe it. It didn't make any sense because, he's 4, he's got no shoes on, they didn't hear anything. How could he be gone? But he was gone. And so finally, after a couple of minutes, Edna rounded up her other two boys and they ran all the way back to the campsite where they got Mr. Panknin and they hailed the police, and very quickly a big search was launched up on that logging road. As soon as the police arrived, the first thing they did is they pressed Edna and the other two boys about, what did you hear? You know, you had to have heard something. He was only 10 feet away from you and he was within earshot of you, certainly. You know, what did you hear? Did a vehicle come through? Did you hear an animal? Did you hear anybody talking? And Edna and the other two boys, they swore that they heard nothing, that they're just as baffled by it as anybody else. And so the police really didn't have a good starting point of where Bobby could have gone. And in that area, there wasn't any, you know, steep drop-offs or obvious places that Bobby could have fallen into or gotten trapped. The water for the waterfall, it's not deep. It's this little tiny brook. You know, it'd be difficult to drown in that little brook. So they just basically started fanning out in all directions, hoping they would, you know, find a piece of clothing or some other clue that would indicate where he went. After 3 days of searching that yielded nothing, they finally brought in a bloodhound to try to find him based on scent. And so they had the dog smell one of Bobby's shoes, and the dog immediately seemed to key in on his scent in the area where Bobby had gone missing. And the dog turns and starts running up the logging road away from the campsite, so farther into the forest. And it runs for almost 2 miles, and it never seems to waver. It's clearly picked up Bobby's scent. And it stops at this fork in the road about 2 miles away from where Bobby had gone missing. And it keys in on this one area right at the fork where there wasn't anything significant. It was just this bare patch of dirt. And so the police, they uncover the dirt a little bit. There's nothing there. They're looking around the area. That there's no indication that Bobby was ever here. So they give the scent back to the dog. And again, the dog just keeps tracking to this one section in this fork in the road. But they didn't know what to do with that information because there was nothing there. The search for Bobby was called off after 7 days because they could not find anything. And so the lead investigator came out and did this press release where he basically said, we have no idea what happened to Bobby. However, we do think he was abducted. And his reasoning for this was pretty straightforward. Bobby was a young kid that had no shoes on in an unfamiliar forest, and he was only out of eyesight for 2 minutes. So how far could he really have gotten? Certainly not far enough that his family wouldn't have found him after those 2 minutes were up and they began looking for him. And so if you go down the abduction rabbit hole, you start with, okay, a person must have taken Bobby. But for a person to take Bobby, that means a person had to be in this area that was super isolated and remote, and they hadn't seen anybody in the area, and there were very few campers at the campsite. So realistically, if a person was going to abduct Bobby, they had to have been planning it and had to have been hiding in the trees and were stalking this family until they got to that spot where Jimmy left Bobby, and then this person, you know, runs out of the tree line, runs over to Bobby, picks him up without Bobby making a sound, he muffles him, and he runs away into the woods carrying this child, all in a 2-minute window, which was a totally abrupt window. It wasn't like this obvious thing that Bobby was going to be left alone. It looked like Jimmy was going to be sitting there with him, which would have been a deterrent, you would think, if someone was trying to abduct Bobby. But nonetheless, this window presents itself and this person runs down and takes Bobby. It just seems like that person would need to be really fixated on Bobby, one, and there wasn't a clear reason for why anyone would be very fixated on Bobby or this family. And two, they would need to be very strong and quick and agile, more than the average person. So we're talking like a professional athlete level of agility and physical fitness. And so while it's certainly possible that a professional athlete had been stalking this family and then ran down in this tiny little window of time and stole Bobby away without getting detected and then evaded the law for 7 days in the middle of the woods, while that's possible, it's pretty unlikely. And investigators reached this conclusion. They thought, you know, it does seem pretty unlikely that a person did this. So they moved on to animals and they said, okay, maybe a bear took Bobby. And so they brought out bear sniffing dogs to search the area for signs that a bear had been there, and there hadn't been. And so they said, okay, maybe a cougar had been there. And so they brought out a cougar expert who looked around the area, and there's no signs of a cougar in the area. Plus, there was no blood anywhere around the area where Bobby had been taken. There was no drag marks where if a predator were to grab you, they would need to drag you away. There was no drag marks. So it seemed like, okay, the large predator theory also has problems with it. And so the next theory offered up was, well, maybe a giant eagle swooped down and picked Bobby up and flew him away, which would account for why maybe it was quiet and there was no drag marks, there was no blood, and why he's just gone. But that was when authorities said, okay, we clearly have no clue. And so that's why they gave the press release and basically said, we just don't know. And so while we probably will never know what happened to Bobby, it does seem likely that something took him. And whatever that something was, it was intelligent, it was fast, it was strong, it was agile, and it had been watching that family. Because as soon as that 2-minute window presented itself, where Jimmy was gone and Bobby was vulnerable, it swept in so fast that no one heard it, no one saw it, and it took Bobby somewhere and did something to him. And whatever it did, it probably wasn't good. In December of 1961, James McCormick Sr. was on vacation from his job as a fire inspector for the city of Portland, Oregon. And he was feeling bored, he was feeling kind of restless, and he decided he wanted to go do something fun with his 16-year-old son named James McCormick Jr. They settled on going hunting together as they were both avid outdoorsmen, and so they, along with their hunting dog, headed out to Larch Mountain on December 4th. Even though Larch Mountain was only 30 miles from the city, it was known as one of the most rugged and wild areas in the northwestern United States. And so the men arrive at Larch Mountain, they're excited, they hop out of the car, they put their gear on, and they begin hiking into the wilderness. Now, the weather forecasters had said it was probably going to be pretty cold. There might be some light snow in the area, but the weather should hold for their day trip out into the woods. And so they hadn't brought any equipment to stay out for multiple days. This was just going to be a full day event, but back at night. But after walking for several hours into the mountains, they started to notice the temperature was dropping rapidly. And then it started to rain, and then it started to snow, all in a very short period of time. And initially they decided they were going to gut it out and keep walking a little ways, but they decided, you know what, this is awful and our stuff's getting wet and it's going to get dark soon, so let's just turn around and go back. We can go hunting another day. But it had started snowing so quickly that when they turned around to start making their way back to their vehicle, the snow had covered over everything enough that it looked a little bit different. And they didn't have a GPS, they were using a map and compass, and they were not on a marked trail. They were just kind of walking around the mountains looking for a place to set up. And so they're walking back and they're making turns and they're starting to question where they are. And when they had walked for several hours in the direction they believed was back to the truck, well, they weren't anywhere near a road and they felt like they were in an area they didn't recognize, and they realized they were lost. At this point, it was snowing really hard and it was starting to get dark outside. And so the pair decided, you know what? We got to stay out for the night. We're not going to find our vehicle tonight. It's too dark and we don't know where we are. So let's camp out for the night and tomorrow we will find our vehicle. But remember, they didn't have any equipment to stay out for the night. All they had was their warm clothes, but they didn't have a structure to protect them from the elements. And so they decided their best bet was to climb up into a tree, because at least that way they're off the ground, they'd protect themselves from predators potentially, and the branches of the tree would kind of protect them a little bit from the snow and from the freezing rain. So that night, James Sr., James Jr., and their dog, they huddle in this tree. It's a totally sleepless, miserable night as they're just destroyed by snow and freezing rain and wind. And then finally the sun comes up the next morning and there's a glimmer of hope, although it's still absolutely dumping snow on them. But they're thinking to themselves, this is gonna make a heck of a story when we get back. And so they climb out of the tree, they stretch, they kind of, readjust themselves, and then they begin walking in a direction that they think is the direction towards their vehicle. And for several hours, they're just kind of walking, hoping they're gonna run into this road, and they don't. At some point, they realize once again that they are in the same position they were in the day before. They don't know where they are. And now they've walked even farther, potentially in the wrong direction. And so they stop for a second, and James Sr. pulls out his map and he's trying to make sense of where they might be. He's looking around. He's trying to terrain associate to see if he can figure out if there's a specific way he should be going. When his son, who was a really tough kid, didn't complain about anything, he said to his dad, I'm feeling delirious. I feel like I can't think straight. And it's hard for me to stand even. I'm gonna sit down. And his dad's looking at him, not concerned about this, because it was a pretty miserable night the night before, and so it makes sense he might be tired. But I mean, they had slept a full night's sleep the days leading up to this trip. They've only been out in the elements for one day. They do have warm clothes on, they do have food, they do have water. And so he figures his son will just sit down for a minute and then he'll get back up and be rejuvenated and they'll keep moving out. And so James Sr. continues looking at his map. He's looking around, kind of waiting for his son to say, okay, I'm ready to start moving again. But his son just continues to deteriorate. He's speaking in nonsense and he can't stand up. And this was the first time that James Sr. really started to feel concerned for their actual safety. Because even the night before, when they were up in the tree, even then, it just felt like it was this crazy thing that was happening to them and that everything would be fine. And even that morning when they got up and it was still snowing and they're still lost, he had that optimism, and so did his son. But now thinking, okay, we are potentially staring down another night out here, and we're gonna eventually run out of food and water. You know, our clothes are starting to get wet. The temperatures are dropping below freezing. We don't have a tent. We don't have a shelter. And now something's wrong with my son, which is concerning in and of itself. But if he can't move, then we can't make progress towards getting out of the situation. And so James Sr., who was this really fit fireman, he said, okay, I'm gonna pick you up and I'm going to carry you. And he picked his son up, fireman's carry, put him over his shoulders, and for 3 hours, James Sr. just continues to march around looking for the way out. And after 3 hours, when they had not gotten anywhere closer to a road or any civilization, and now it was dark out again, he collapses with his son, and he puts his son down by a tree, and he sits down next to him, and he's totally defeated. And he's like, we gotta get ready for another night. We gotta get back up in a tree, and we gotta do this again. And so as they're sitting there kind of talking about how they're gonna get James Jr. up into a tree for the night, because, you know, he's too weak to climb up himself, they both notice these very bright lights about 100 feet in front of them that look like headlights. And James Sr. is like, oh my goodness, what luck. There is a road that we just didn't see, and there's a car that's parked right there. I'm gonna go up and communicate with them and tell them that we are stuck out here and see if they can give us a ride. Stay right here, I'll be right back. And so James Sr. gets up and starts running towards these lights, because these lights are their lifeline, and he wants to get to them before they potentially pull away without realizing, you know, there's some people that really could use some help here. And so as he's moving, you know, 50, 60, 70 feet away from where his son and his hunting dog were, the lights just continue to go farther and farther away from him, to the point where James Sr. stops. And he's looking at these lights thinking, are those headlights? Like, what are those lights? And at some point, the lights just kind of disappear into the forest, and then they're gone. James Sr. looks around and he realizes, there's no road over here. I'm in the middle of the woods. Like, what were those lights? And so he stands there for a minute thinking to himself, you know, am I losing my grip on reality? Like, you know, what's going on here? And he turns around and he starts running back to where his son and his dog were. And when he gets there, only his dog is there. His son is now gone. And what's going through James Sr.'s mind is, how? Because he couldn't walk until now, and my son certainly wouldn't have lied to me and made me carry him all the way here. And there's enough light out that he could actually still see the footprints on the ground. And so he grabs his son's backpack that was left by the tree, he picks it up, he grabs his dog, and he starts yelling for his son and starts walking along the footprints that were left by presumably his son. And so he's walking along these footprints and he's yelling out for his son, he's not hearing anything, and this whole time he's thinking to himself, like, why would he even leave? Even if he could move, why would he leave? You know, we're obviously in this together. Like, what's going on with my son? And so he's walking, and after about 30 minutes of walking along these footprints, because the snow was coming down so heavy, the prints were getting harder and harder and harder to track because they were filling in with snow. And finally it got dark out, and then he really couldn't see the prints anymore. And now James Sr. is absolutely panicked. You know, this is a nightmare. Where's my son? What were those lights? Oh my gosh, it's gonna be another night out here. And he just picks a random direction, and holding onto his son's stuff with his dog, he just starts running. The next day, James Sr. and his dog would stumble into this lodge that was about 6 miles away from where they had parked their car over at Larch Mountain. Now, that doesn't mean they moved 6 miles to get there. They probably zigged and zagged all over the mountain, and they covered much more than 6 miles, but it was a 6-mile shot to this lodge. They stumble inside, and it was just a miracle that he had found it. He basically had ran all night until he found a road, and he traced it up to this lodge, and he told the staff inside, my son is missing. We've been gone for 2 days now. He's out in the middle of the woods. He's hurt. Someone needs to go out there. And so very quickly, the police were called, and word spread to the firefighters in Portland, Oregon, that, you know, the fire inspector's son is missing. And so 200 off-duty firefighters made their way up to the mountain as well to assist in this search. The paramedics wanted James Sr. to just go to the hospital and let the searchers do their job. But James Sr. was not about to leave his son, and he refused medical attention, and he went out with the first group of searchers. And somehow he was able to get them to the rough area that he was able to recognize as, you know, roughly where his son had been sitting when he went missing. They searched that area and very quickly found James Jr.'s glasses case, as well as his boots and his socks, but no James Jr. Later in the day, though, they would find James Jr. He was about 1,000 feet away from where his boots and his glasses case were found, at the bottom of this cliff, and he was deceased. Now, initially the thought was, well, you know, he must have gotten confused and walked away from where he had been told to sit, and fell off this cliff. But they determined he did not die from the fall off this cliff. He had made his way down to that cliff and then died of exposure. So how was James Jr. able to suddenly be able to walk again? And once he had that skill back, why didn't he go to his dad? Why did he walk away from him? And why did he take his shoes and socks off to do that as well? And what were those lights that James Sr. saw in the middle of the woods? Because they weren't headlights. And it was only when he went to investigate them that suddenly James Jr. up and walks away.
James Sr., exactly.
In early July of 1953, Mr. and Mrs. Huggin, along with their 3 young daughters, left their home in Winnipeg, Canada for a 6-week summer vacation. They were headed to the girls' grandparents' summer cabin in Wade, Ontario, which is one of the more remote and wild sections of Ontario. Their cabin was right in the middle of this huge swampy forest, and they were not too far from one of the biggest lakes in Ontario called Fox Lake. The family arrived late on July 4th, so they didn't do anything when they arrived. They just hung out at the cabin. And then early the next day, all the adults decided they wanted to take the girls to Fox Lake for the day. So they began gathering all the supplies they would need while the 3 girls played outside the cabin. Now, there's no neighbors or anybody else anywhere near this cabin. And so it was totally normal to have the girls just play outside. They were not concerned about, them getting taken or something. And so the 2 older girls played in the front yard of the cabin, and Geraldine, the 5-year-old, was playing on the side of the cabin. So the 2 girls in front couldn't see Geraldine, and the adults, they were keeping their eye on all 3 girls, but they were mostly just kind of going in and out of the cabin, getting their stuff together, periodically poking their head out, but the girls were fine. At 10 a.m. that morning, the parents had finally packed up the car, and they were ready to collect the girls to head over to the lake. And so they went outside, they got the 2 girls that were out front, and they went to the side of the house, and they couldn't find Geraldine. Now, they weren't worried because where could she have gone? And so they walked around the house, they're yelling for Geraldine, and they asked the 2 girls, have you seen Geraldine? Where'd she go? And they're like, oh, we don't know. She was just over on the side of the house a minute ago. And so they can't find her outside. And so they go in the cabin thinking she must have gone in there because that's the only place she could be. But after thoroughly looking through the cabin and not finding her, they started to get a little bit more worried. At this point, the adults start talking to each other and they're saying, did anybody see Geraldine in the past couple of minutes? Has anybody seen her? And they all said, yeah, I poked my head out the window and I saw her within the past 10 minutes right on the side of the cabin. And so they all agreed within the past 10 minutes, they had seen her right outside the cabin. So they're alarmed they can't find her, but they're thinking we're gonna find her. So they go back outside and they're looking around and they're yelling for her. Now, this is such a remote section of Ontario that there's really no noise pollution and sound travels really, really well. And so when they were yelling her name, it was booming through the woods. And even if Geraldine had, sprinted for 10 minutes away from the cabin, she still easily would have been within earshot. And all she had to do was just, yell back and they would see her. But she didn't yell back and there was no sign of her anywhere. And so at this point, the family is panicking. And so they call the police. The police show up and they're looking around thinking, we're not going to be able to search this very effectively on our own. This is a huge, wild, remote section of Canada. And so they called in some professional trackers that were familiar with this area to come in and help them with their search. They also called the army in Winnipeg to send over some people to assist as well. But as soon as the search started, the skies opened up and dumped rain all over the entire area, basically washing away any footprints that they could have used to potentially find her. As the day wore on and the sun was starting to set and there was still no sign of Geraldine, her father said something to the searchers that was intended to help them find his daughter, but it was just this incredibly heartbreaking comment. And what he told them was his daughter was afraid of the dark, and that once it got dark out in the woods here, she's just gonna sit down and cry. And so that will stop her from moving farther away from us, hopefully, and we should be able to find her. But they didn't. And for 3 days, they looked everywhere for her, and there was no trace of her. And to make matters even worse is the weather had been really rainy and cold, not below freezing temperatures, but close, like in the 40-degree Fahrenheit range. And she just had a light shirt and shorts on. She was not prepared for the weather. On the evening of the 3rd day, they found footprints that they believed to be Geraldine's high up on this ledge in some moss overlooking Fox Lake. And the footprints indicated that this child, which was probably Geraldine, was looking out over the lake and then turned around and walked away from the ledge down into the swamp where her footprints dissipate. And so the search effort was pushed to this swamp, and they had thousands of people that are combing through this mosquito-infested bush to look for this girl, and once again, there's nothing. Then on the 7th day of the search, they find another set of footprints in the swamp around the area where they were looking for Geraldine. But it wasn't Geraldine's footprints because they were these huge prints that if it was a human print, they would need to be an enormous human being. Or these prints belong to some enormous animal, but they were unable to determine what animal it was. At this point, although there's not really any real evidence connecting that print to Geraldine, people are starting to suspect that whoever left this print or whatever left this print has something to do with whatever happened to Geraldine. 2 days later, so 9 days after Geraldine has gone missing, some of the professional trackers were 2.5 miles away from where that large print was found in that swamp and where Geraldine's footprints were found up on that ledge. They found a piece of her plaid shirt 2.5 miles away on the eastern shore of another lake called Long Lake. And so they pushed the search effort over to that section of Long Lake, and within 24 hours, they would find Geraldine's remains. The scene where Geraldine was found was bizarre. There was very little left of Geraldine, and from what was left, it was clear there had been significant animal predation. And so initial thoughts were, she must have been attacked by wolves, that's what killed her. But upon closer inspection, they saw that her clothing had not been torn and there was no blood on her clothes. So the animal predation had most likely occurred after she was deceased, because they would have been able to pick around the clothing. Whereas if it had been a wolf attack, they would have cut right through the clothes and there would be marks that obviously, she was attacked by animals. But Geraldine's remains appeared to have been dragged out of a nearby meadow to where she was ultimately located. And so they followed the drag line into this meadow, and it led them to this opening where all the grass had been matted down. And investigators said it looked like something big had been laying there. And they speculated that that might have been the area where Geraldine had been killed, and then afterwards animals had dragged her over to where she was found. And so investigators are like, well, we found that large footprint in the swamp on the 7th day in the same area where we had found Geraldine's footprints, and we thought they might be connected. And now we're finding a large, what appears to be body print in this meadow that's right near where Geraldine's remains have been found. And so probably whoever or whatever left that print in the swamp is the same one that left this print here in the meadow, and therefore is probably Geraldine's killer. But this left investigators with two theories that didn't really make any sense. The first one was, okay, these prints, the swamp print and this body print, belong to an enormous person, like a giant, who ran up to the cabin and abducted Geraldine and ran off, and no one saw them or heard them. And for weeks, they've managed to totally evade capture despite being, again, an enormous person lumbering through the forest. So that seemed really unlikely. One, that this giant person even existed, and two, that if this giant person existed, how could they not get caught? They're so big running through the forest, they would be easy to spot. But if you rule out the enormous person theory, you're left with the enormous predator theory, which does make more sense on the surface because there are enormous predators that have attacked humans, so that does happen. But when they looked at her remains, they ruled out a wolf attack, and really, they ruled out animal attacks. But if this is an enormous predator, how did it kill Geraldine? The family was told that unfortunately, because there wasn't enough left of her, they weren't able to determine a cause of death. And so their best guess is she was probably mauled by wild animals, but they would even level with the family and say, honestly, we don't know what did this. So that's gonna do it, guys. If you found the secret in today's video, let us know in the comments what it is and where you found it, so give us the timestamp. And if you're the first to do that, we will pin you at the top of the comments section. If you enjoyed today's video and you haven't done this already, please release a massive saltwater crocodile inside the like button's house. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our 3, 4, even 5 weekly uploads. If you want to get in touch with me, you can direct message me on Instagram or on Twitter. My username for both platforms is the same. It's JohnBallin416. I also have a ton of content over on TikTok, where my username is Mr. Ballin. If you have a story suggestion, please submit it to our subreddit just called Mr. Ballin. It's linked in the description below. So whether I see you on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, or some combination, just know that I really appreciate your support, and until next time, that's gonna do it. See ya. Every year, hundreds of people go missing under baffling conditions in national parks and forests all across North America. One former police detective named David Paulides has begun investigating thousands of these very strange disappearances, and he outlines his